Before and during the formation of the UK, Christianity and homosexuality clashed. Same-sex sexual activity was considered a sin and, under the Bulgarian Act 1533, was banned and condemned. LGBT rights first came to prominence in 1967 with the Sexual Offences Act that decriminalized homosexual acts between two men in private, and the age of consent was set to 21. This act applied to England and Wales. Scotland and Northern Ireland followed a decade later in 1980 and 1981 respectively. Civil Partnership Act was introduced in 2004 by the Labour government but didn't come into effect until the 5th of December of 2005, giving same-sex couples the same rights as married heterosexual couples in England, Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales. Besides, in 2005, the Gender Recognition Act was brought in on April 4, and it gave trans people full legal recognition in their appropriate gender and allowed them to acquire a new birth certificate. However, the gender options are limited to male or female. In July 2013, the Civil Partnership Act went further with the Married Same-Sex Couples Act, allowing them to get married. It came into effect in England, Wales and Scotland in 2014, but marriage equality remains illegal in Northern Ireland.
To fight homophobia, the LGBT community uses events such as gay pride parades and political activism. So Gay Pride is a march to gather people, but not only LGBTQ people, also the allies, which are straight and cisgender, who supports members of the LGBTQ community. The first gay march was in London in 1970. We talk about pride because people go out in the street, which involves showing and assuming itself to everyone in the public place. In 2013, the first trans pride takes place in Brighton. Then there are some associations that promote rights but also give support, such as LGBT Humanities UK, created in the 80s, or the Stonewall Association, which is the famous one. On the other hand, there are some associations against homophobia to denounce violence and threats and provides emergency phone numbers. And moreover, there is an International Day Against Homophobia first celebrated on May 17, 2005 in more than 40 countries. Nowadays, the cinema shows less stereotypes on gay people thanks to series like Skins, Sense8 or Black Mirror and many others, and give both visibility and achievement of equality in every mind.
Nigeria's criminal code has banned most LGBT rights since 1990, providing a 14-year prison sentence for homosexual acts involving either men or women. In 2013, the Same-Sex Marriage Prohibition Act was passed and it was enacted in 2014. This law prohibits gay organizations supporting same-sex marriages and displaying same-sex affection in public. The penalty for breaking this law is a 10-year jail sentence. It also calls up to 14 years in prison for any Nigerian who marries a member of the same sex. Additionally, in 12 Nigerian states in the north, the Sharia law, which is a set of Islamic laws, also applies. For homosexual activity, it provides capital punishment for men and lashing or imprisonment for women. However, no executions for gay behavior have been verified.
In Nigeria, the Same-Sex Prohibition Act passed in January 2014 causes a lot of trouble for the LGBT community. Its original purpose, as mentioned before, is to prohibit same-sex marriage, as its name shows. Actually, when looking at the facts, it goes further the laws that already had been implemented in Nigeria. The LGBT community in Nigeria lives in fear and silence. Any protest in favor of their rights is formally prohibited. The law forbids any cohabitation between same-sex sexual partners and bans any public show of amorous relationship. Before, the law only enacted the prohibition of same-sex sexual conduct. Now it is any action that can be related with LGBT minorities which is prohibited, from militating to being part of the community. It also officially gives the right to authorities such as police or vigilance groups, a civil watch organized by members of the community, to arrest and punish LGBT communities by violence, lynching, or prison. In July 2017, more than 30 men were arrested in Lagos for taking part in an event for HIV awareness, accusing the arrested men of performing same-sex sexual acts. This is an example of how strong the opposition against LGBT communities can be.